Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing Sanctus Reach and the new DLC which has just been announced today called Legacy of the Weirdboy. Now for those of you who don't know, Sanctus Reach is a 3D turn-based strategy game. I will link a video at the end of this video going over basically what the game is and stuff like that. I've got a bigger video covering that more in depth, but in this video I just want to more or less discuss the DLC, which, as I've just stated, is from the perspective of the Orks, which is something I wanted in the original game because I felt it was more just Space Wolf sided. So let's jump in and let's look at the information which we have at the moment. So the actual DLC itself is actually on Steam at the moment. You can't pre-order it or anything at the moment. You can actually go and look at some of the information, which I'm looking at right now, which I'm going to give over to you chaps. I've also got a link in the description in case you want to go and read it for yourself. But it says here, right, about the content, let's start with the nice lore behind it, because I love reading these things. It says, carnage and war-torn slaughter reach a new peak. Big Red da Warphead, Gup Face Ripper's right hand and one of the top boys in the Red War, leads his orcs in the conquest of the Isle of Dominus. His plan is to open up the warp and rip the wolf's throat by striking at the sacred mountain. Such an assault, if successful, would shake the very foundations of the imperial defense of Ulrich Prime. The fate of the whole Sanctus Reach system is at stake. So then it goes into details. Basically, I'm going to read this. It says, with the legacy of the Weirdboy, Warhammer 40,000 Sanctus Reach is back in the third expansion for Sanctus Reach. You will play as the Orks in their quest to destroy and kill any who stand in their way. Forward in the name of Gork, or Mork. Play through a new campaign as Orks following the deeds of the new mighty hero Big Red. Command new units and make use of many new abilities to kill your enemies. Explore new tactical possibilities and new objectives available in the campaign and skirmish mode. Face a much enhanced AI and prepare to spill blood. A lot of blood. Here we go. Now, some of the main features that we have is obviously a new Orc campaign. So you have to lead the Greenskins in their deep strike of the Isle of Dominus. New units for the Orcs and Space Wolves. Command units such as the Painboy or the Venerable Dreadnought, which is pretty cool. Fleshed out Orc factions, something I've been wanting for ages. The Orcs are now more brutal than ever, which is good. Orcs need to be more brutal. Having at their disposal plenty of new skills and new units and a new unit progression system. A new playable hero, Big Red, a ferocious Weirdboy, would rather die than falter in his vicious offensive, which of course are Orcs, of course they want to die. New victory conditions: defeat your enemy by obtaining enough loot or by capturing the flag. That sounds very, very interesting, by the way. Improved storytelling: immerse yourself like never before in a tale of war and destruction with the new illustrated stories. Now, for people who watch my original video on Sanctus Reach, one of my main disappointments about the game as a whole was that I never got to experience it from an Orc viewpoint. It was more or less you played as Space Wolves. You could play as Orcs, but only in like skirmish mode or multiplayer and stuff like that. I was very, very disappointed that we never had a campaign viewpoint from the Orcs, because as an Imperial fanboy, I actually like to experience other races and stuff like that from their viewpoint instead of always being Imperium all the time. Truth be told, I'm getting a bit tired of playing a Space Marine in more or less every game. I would love to play someone like a lonely guardsman who all odds are stacked against him and stuff and that kind of, but that's another tale for another glorious time, brothers. So let's jump in and let's just take a little closer look at the features. So we've got a new Orc campaign, which it said. So we're going to be leading with the Greenskins, which I've just gone over, which is going to be great. We've got new Orc and Space Wolf units, command units, such as the Painboy and the Venerable Dreadnought. So it'd be interesting to see what they bring to the table. So the fleshed out Orc faction, the Orcs now have more brutal than ever. So I'm hoping maybe some better kind of animation executions or something like that. Maybe to show off that's how brutal they're becoming, having at their disposal plenty of new skills and new unit progression. So it looks like they're going to go on a bit more in depth on how the actual units work. Of course, we have the new playable hero, which is Big Red, which is going to be the main guy on this force. That should be interesting to play that guy. New victory conditions. Now this is what piqued my interest. Defeat your enemy by obtaining enough loot. So I wonder how that is going to work. I wonder if with the units you actually kill on the battlefield, does that add to the loot? which you're going to be capturing. So for example, if I kill a dreadnought, does that give me a lot of loot compared to killing a space marine and just taking his power armor and stuff like that? So that's going to be a very interesting feature, and see how that works, because for people who play like Imperium, like say we're playing this on multiplayer, that's going to be a very, very tricky situation, because the more you die, the more they win. So that should be very, very, very cool. Improve storytelling, immerse yourself like never before in the tale of war and destruction with new illustrated stories. Now, new illustrated stories, I've always been a fan of the actual story on the old Sanctus Reach. I thought it was really nice, really cool. Nothing mind-blowing special, but you know, it was there for a person who likes the lore and stuff. They did a very fantastic job with bringing that over. And for the moment, that is all the features and information that I have at my disposal. I will send an Inquisitor to the HQ of the developers, and I will try and get as much information as possible from these chaps to hopefully make another video and give you guys and people more information. I'm looking at the page at the moment, and there is no price tag at all, so that is another thing which I will need to find out for you chaps. Hopefully, if I do get that from the developers, I'll put it in the comment section below, and I'll pin it to the top so people can see that. But for now, we do not have no price tag. I have no idea how they're going to price this. Let's see. And that is it, I'm afraid. I'm sorry for the short video, but that is all the information I have. I just wanted to get this out there to tell you chaps that, yep, we have a new game. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've piqued your interest in somewhat, and I'll see you all next time. So thank you, and have a great week. See you now. Bye bye.